At the beginning of the year, I started a mates, it's the new year, let's get healthy WhatsApp group. About 9 people just like me, aged between about 30 to 50, all of South Asian heritage, a mix of male and females, all of them professionals and most of them working in healthcare. To join, people had to do a few things, including a remote blood test, a blood pressure and some basic weight metrics that we all shared on a Google Doc. I was really shocked to find that 8 out of the 9 people involved, me excluded, had all of the characteristics of something called metabolic syndrome. So what is metabolic syndrome and why should you care? Metabolic syndrome is diagnosed if you have 3 or more of the following things: large waistline, i.e. loads of unnecessary belly fat, high triglycerides, this is one of the types of bad fat on a cholesterol blood test, low HDL, this is good fat also found on the same cholesterol panel, high blood pressure and an elevated fasting blood sugar also found on the blood test. In case you're wondering, this is an extremely common condition in the population. About 1 in 4 of the adult UK population is assumed to have it. Yes, I did say assume. For some reason, we, i.e. doctors, don't seem to tell patients that they have this horrible syndrome that massively predisposes you to all of the common diseases that are likely to kill you. I'm thinking heart disease, diabetes, stroke, even dementia and cancer. Your doctor will tell you if you have a high blood pressure. They will tell you if you have dodgy cholesterol. They will tell you if you have high blood sugar. But they just don't seem to add these 3 things together and tell you that you have metabolic syndrome. All those 3 things are bad individually, but cumulatively, they are serious trouble. In my experience of working as a doctor, this is one of the most devastating cluster of symptoms and by far one of the most underdiagnosed syndromes. The reason why you probably have never been told or even heard of metabolic syndrome is because of waist circumference. This is one of those 5 metrics I mentioned before, abdominal fat. Doctors just hate checking waist circumference, even though it's infinitely more useful than just checking weight or BMI. Has your doctor ever checked your waist circumference, i.e. put a tape around your waist to measure your circumference? Nope, I didn't think so. Which is a shame because this unassuming metric perfectly correlates with health. The higher the waist circumference, the worse your health outcomes, pretty much to the centimetre. So back to my WhatsApp group. I randomly checked these parameters on my group of generally well young adult friends that are mostly healthcare professionals, and they all had metabolic syndrome. So a case in point, one guy, early 30s, male doctor, not objectively overweight. He runs 5k very quickly in about 23 minutes, which is fast. He even cycles to work now and again. Unfortunately, he doesn't do any muscle conditioning and has no specific dietary strategy. This guy has 4 out of 5 of the metabolic syndrome metrics that massively increase his risk, about 3 to 6-fold that is, for a whole heap of those depressing diseases that I mentioned earlier. To look at him, you'll think he's the picture of health. The reality, slow-moving train wreck. Do get checked out. You can check your blood pressure and your waist circumference yourself, and if you're keen, you can even check your bloods remotely yourself too. I'll put a few links below to guide you on what's normal and what's not in the context of metabolic syndrome. And if you have it, it's a warning sign that you need to make some lifestyle changes. It's worth touching base with a doctor to get a little bit more specific advice. Any questions? Do get in touch with me. I read and respond to all of your comments, and I'm always happy to answer questions and take your suggestions for future content. Till next time, take care of yourselves and stay healthy.